Hi everyone. So yes, it's been a little while since I've done a video. This is just a quick little update on what is going on, what's new, what's coming, etc. So obviously at the start of February we had the Model Sport 50th anniversary race. I obviously gave Trigger's Broom its first proper run out of the year. Obviously we've got the new body shells been painted up by Pete Prius. Very nice, well happy with them. So after that event the car went well. I won the final and it was a bump up, so you get bumped up to the next final. I think I came 4th or 5th in that next final. It just went well in the finals, and I'd got used to the track by then. If I sound a little bit stuffy, I've had an operation on my nose, so I haven't got a cold. I'm just got a very sore, badly nose at the moment. But yeah, so the Model Sport 50th event, it was all done on honeycomb tyres. So it's these. They had to be brand new on the back, which wasn't an issue because I didn't have any for the Schumacher fitting. But moving on, in terms of racing, these will be getting used again, these honeycombs, because I've got an entry at the Robin Hood Classic. That's on the, I believe it's on the Astro track, and again it's running honeycomb tyres. They don't have to be new, so because these don't wear hardly, so I'll get my money's worth out of these at least. But yeah, so the car is going great, no issues with it. It went absolutely fine. I did a few sort of setup changes, but nothing major. It was easy to drive. I wasn't fighting it. That's all I want from my cars. So we will be seeing more of the Cougar. In April we're off to Germany, where we're taking part in the Euromasters, and this is what's going to be my entry. So I just need to give a quick little setup change because it's relatively soft how it is, but that seemed to work well for me on that track. But I'll need to stiffen up because we're on Astro for the Euromasters. Obviously it'll have different wheels and tyres on, but I'll give it a quick little setup change, just a base setup, and then go from there. Obviously that's my 2-wheel drive entry. 4-wheel drive, it's still work in progress. So I'll be running the Pro Cap, and again, got the lovely body shell all done up. But all I've got to do is I've got to just get the shocks done. I've rebuilt them, so they've had all new seals and everything put in. But shut off. So inside, it's pretty much identical electrics to the Cougar. The Cougar, I was running a 13.5 in at the Model Sport. That's the limit for the Euromasters in 2-wheel drive. So 4-wheel drive, you're allowed a 10.5. So I've just got to get it soldered in. But I've got one of the Amy Booth motors, 10.5. This was out of my Dynastorm. So this has now got all the electrics going in. This is an original Pro Cat again as well. Obviously I've had a custom made carbon chassis from Fiberlight. Boss capped rear shock tower, rear hanger. And there's obviously a few little tweaks on the front just to help play around with setup and stuff that was evidently done back in the day. But yeah, I need to give this a run out because it's been sat for a while. So that's my 4-wheel drive entry. It's also my 4-wheel drive entry for Revival. So I've got a 2-wheel drive and a 4-wheel drive spot at Revival. The first one at BMR, Bingham Model Raceway. So that's July, I think it's July, sometime end of July, sometime around there anyway. So I'll be running the Pro Cat. Obviously the Cougar was going to be my entry. I didn't get, let's put this one away. I didn't actually get the Cougar in, so that was my first choice. So this would have been running 89 to 93. Obviously when you do revival, the more age related entries you can put in, the better. So what am I going to be running in the 2-wheel drive? I'll be dragging out the top cap. So this last ran at revival last year. It was lent to a good friend of mine who didn't do too badly with it, but obviously this has now just been sat for a while now. So obviously the body shell was, I got this done, painted up in his colour scheme. I'm not going to run this body shell and wing. I'm going to get another one done just up in my colour scheme, but this is pretty much how it came off the track last year. So obviously the front end's had a bit of modification work done. So I do know that when he ran it last year, he wanted the front end a little bit stiffer, so I'll be playing around with this later on. It's not an urgent job to get this one up and running because we've got a while and I need to concentrate on getting the Cougar, the Pro Cat done. So that's the entries in for that. We're also entered into the Scotty Ernst race. Again, that's back out at Robin Hood Raceway. And I will be running the Cougar and the Pro Cat at that event. So that's a 3-day event over the bank holiday in May, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, I can't remember. But this is just a quick little update. And we have a new arrival. So when I was away at the Model Sport 50th, I've acquired a Boscat Works. So this is in pretty good condition. It's not had a massive amount of use. Obviously it just needs a good clean up, going through, make sure that everything's fine. The alloy roller drive shafts I'm going to take off. This didn't actually come with alloy roller drive shafts, but I do need a nice original set to go on my Cougar team, because that's the only thing that's really missing is a set of the alloy roller drive shafts. So I've got the ball race steering, so that I can get that finished, and that will be a good Cougar team build. But yeah, so we have this one. It came with the shocks as well. I've pulled them just to get them done up, and then obviously I've now got a nice shelfer and a runner, so I need to decide which one's going to be the shelfer. I'll probably take all the both of these apart and then build up the nicest one that I can. The top deck, I'm not too sure if it's works because it looks a different type of carbon. It's hard to see on the video, but obviously my other one, this has got all the alloy hop-ups, Z-brace on there. It's got the hopped up ball race steering, the one-way drive shafts. This has got the one-way drive shafts on it again as well. But yeah, so generally I'd probably say whichever one is the nicest condition is going to be the shelfer. So obviously this, with all the hop-ups, they'll actually go on to my runner, believe it or not, because I want my shelfer to be how it was back in the day. But that's pretty much it. We've still waiting on hop-ups for the Cougar 2 works to arrive, so I can start getting that built up. But like I say, I'm still waiting for him. I've had some stuff sent over from Kevin Fenrick, good friend of mine. So we've got carbon motor plates for the Cougar 2 works. So I've got these actually on Trigger's Broom, the ones that he did for the Cougar Classic. So we've got a set of them. And for a future project, I won't tell you too much about it, but you may be able to tell what's going on with these parts. So we've got wheel adapters, shock towers. This will be a video that I'll probably have out next week. I'm just waiting on some bits for that to arrive. And then lastly, some of you all know what these are. So these are the Teflon pistons for the Schumacher Pro shocks. I've got a set to try out. These don't have the holes drilled in, but I'm going to go through about the best way, or the way that I do it, which I'd say is probably the best way of doing it, of drilling the holes so that you can basically get them right, because the very first ones I ever did when these were coming out, I did get them actually wrong. So yeah, so a massive shout out to Kevin for getting these sent out. So we've got plenty to be going on, and obviously I've had my operation. I'm not at work at the moment. I've just started feeling a little bit better today, that I could actually come in to the workshop or my little hobby room and get some work done. But yeah, so I'm not going to do a video on what I do setup wise to the Cougar, but this is what I'm going to work on first, because this probably needs the least amount of work. Wheels and tyres, shock setup, maybe some geometry changing, but probably not. I'll work all that out when we get to the track. But that's it, just a quick little update on what's going on, what's happening, where we're at. But that's it. There'll be a video out soon showing you what the parts are that Kevin sent us. But thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you soon. Cheers guys.